Hey, Dr. O, it's Casey. I was really happy last week when you said we could send you a video instead of writing, because with the whole dyslexia thing, this takes me 15 minutes, where writing would take me like an hour, I think. Um, so thank you for this opportunity. You will probably get a lot of videos from me. I'm gonna turn the light on. If I can, the light might turn on. That's fine. Okay, a little more light there. So this week, I did not do a good job with self-care at all. Really ended up being inside of my head most of this week, as opposed to, dealing with things on the outside. But I got over that. I had a really great week. We had a substitute come in one day because Paige's daughter signed for the Navy. So I got to work with a substitute, which was good. And I really realized how much I was going to miss the kids this week, because I get a whole new semester starting next Thursday. So that's going to be big and different and real. And I'm really going to miss these kids, especially my general level civics and economics class. I really formed some bonds with them. So I'm going to miss them. But overall, I've made some big decisions, so the week got better today. But before that, I was getting migraines and my feet were hurting all the time, and it was really just not a good and healthy place. But I'm feeling better now. So what went well? So I'm going to do this backwards. I'm going to tell you the challenges, and then I'm going to tell you what went well. So the challenges this week, I really was starting to feel overwhelmed with just the workload of teaching coming up, and with the master's homework, and I've had some family in town and I haven't been able to get things done. And like we've discussed, my partnership teacher moves a mile a minute, and I was really afraid of disappointing her. And finally, after feeling frustrated and exhausted with everything, between the dyslexia and the school load and the and planning and teaching, I finally just kind of broke down and went to Paige going, okay, I'm an adult. I need to talk to her about this and not complain about it behind her back or not go to a professor. Just sit down and tell her how I'm feeling. And I did. And she was really helpful. She said, I had no idea you were feeling this way. She said, I did master's work and taught at the same time, and it's an endurance race. That's all it really is. And you'll get through it. It's just hard. And then she said, Casey, she cleared with Dr. Smith that she's going to teach one day a week, so she has bonds with the student, which gives me a whole planning day just to plan or work on a TPA or do what I need to do. And she said, if you need a second day, I'll take it. She's like, I can teach. You're paying to do my job. And then she really encouraged me and said, you're 7 steps ahead of where I was when I started, and you're doing really well. And then she looked at me and she went, okay, we're going to stop right here and we're going to process. And then she said, we're already a week ahead in planning. And we almost have the second week done, and we don't need to have that done until next Friday. And she said, and you have half of the week done already, so give yourself a break. She's like, you really just need to give yourself a break. And I think the biggest challenge this week was not giving myself a break. I also haven't spent the time and really planned my semester homework-wise and school-wise, and I haven't carved out time for EdTPA or praxis studying. So I've decided not to take the praxis until April, and I've also decided to spend my first period planning on praxis and EdTPA, just kind of shifting between them, and then instead of doing them both on Sundays like I was doing, just take Sundays off. And then make sure that when I do go out with my boyfriend, use it as a self-care moment instead of, hey, we need to have a study date, which is what I've been doing. And taking those times for self-care. So my solutions focused education and teaching would be find a solution to focusing on a solution instead of focusing all of the problems that I was getting overwhelmed with. I chose to focus on a solution instead of talking to Paige and getting unoverwhelmed. And my solution is I'm about to get my planner out when I'm done making this video, and I'm going to map out all of my homework and when I'm going to do it. And I'm going to hold really strict boundaries to that. and focus on that as my solution, and to take care of myself well so that I am still delivering excellence. Teaching wise, I had a really funny solution based issue this week. We normally are in pods and the kids have assigned and non negotiated seating, but they all were in single desks because it was the day before testing, and Paige puts them in desks so that they're ready for that when they go into testing, so that they have a day of transition. And it was the day the sub was there. So Paige left after she taught AP Psychology, and the sub came. And my honors, civics, and economics class, which normally doesn't have any management issues, wouldn't stop talking. And that was really challenging because I would say something and they'd keep talking. And so finally I walked up to two of the boys that were doing it and I said, okay, you need to move over there. And I stood there. He went, oh. And then I went, no, you need to take your stuff and move to the other side of the classroom, please, at this desk. He was like, okay. Yes, ma'am. And he got him and moved. I had more problem with the girls, and I realized that I spent too much time threatening. I didn't do action. I should have just warned them once, and the next time they did it, I did exactly what I did with the boys. And I can't be like that. I can't be lenient. But every time I would turn and look at them when they talk, they would stop and go, yes, ma'am. And then what was so great about my general class is they didn't feel as entitled. They would kind of be distracted, but I would turn and I'd look at them and I'd go, guys, I really need you to help me out. I need to do this review with you and I need you to help me. And they would just turn right around. It was incredible. It's one of the many reasons I love them is that I can just be real and say, I really need your help. You help me, I'll help you. And then they always, in like any management situation, seem to just come with it. I'm really going to miss them. So that was my solution-based education teaching moment this week. My insight this week is that testing is insane. And it's like going on a car trip. Like you're in 4 hours of, because I was a proctor once, and it was a 4-hour exam. Fortunately, we were only in there for 3.5 hours. But it's like driving on a road trip. You do nothing. I paced the room for 3 hours, and you do nothing, but you're done and you're brain dead. And we had planning for 2 hours afterwards, and I was like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. It was crazy. So that was probably the biggest thing. And then I guess what I said in the beginning, actually talking to Paige about things, and being confrontational. And Paige and I are both confrontational, so anytime I come to her with an issue, we fix it. And I love that. I couldn't be more perfectly matched with a partnership teacher. Opportunities for self-care. I'm going out with my boyfriend tonight. It was supposed to be a study night, but we're going to take the night off instead, and we're going to go see a movie because I need that. Coffee is my major way of having self-care. And then my grandparents are here, and tomorrow is my grandfather's 80th birthday. So I'm going to study tomorrow until 3 and then take it off. I think my biggest method of self-care is going to be putting myself in very strict boundaries and not going over. By the way, Tuesday was wonderful. Thank you for all of the self-care stuff you talked about. I needed that. And anything else I'd like to share? I shared a lot. This video is almost 9 minutes long, so I'm going to go. Thank you for being wonderful. I'm so thankful for you. You're the best. Have a wonderful weekend.